let's just pop into it, shall we? So we're playing a little bit more red-black control this morning. This is a list we tried shortly after M21 dropped, and it felt pretty reasonable. Massacre Wurm felt like a sweet piece of top end that could close games out while also being a sweeper for our mid-rangey controlling deck. One of the things that felt a little bit awkward about this is getting to 6 mana is not trivial. Even with 26 lands, there's going to be games where you miss. So today I'm trying out a few copies of Mind Stone as a way to cast our top end a little bit ahead of curve, while also being a card that we can cycle, turn it into draw a card in the mid to late game if we have enough lands and don't need this. So the rest of the deck is just like good black interactive spells, some Bonecrusher Giants, some Resilient Threats, Chandra as interaction to way to generate card advantage, and they've got a couple of castles here in the mana base. Red Kreplin and Mapai, welcome back. Happy Blur's Day. So pop on into some matches here and see how it goes. For full transparency for folks, I don't know how many concessions this is going to lead to, but my plan for the short term is I plan to just concede matches to people playing Wilderness Reclamation Nexus of Fate. I don't find those matches particularly fun, and I would rather just not play them. Reclamation's going to be restricted or banned in the upcoming Hooglandia Open anyways, so playing against them isn't even relevant content to people that want to play in that. So for the sake of my mental health and enjoyment of the game, I'm going to skip those matches. Alistair Stone, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. So 13-month Sunko. Opponent is playing Yorion here, which could be a ramp deck, but hopefully not Reclamation. Usually Yorion doesn't, or Reclamation doesn't play this card. They don't really want to go up to 80 cards. They want to be a pretty lean combo machine. Yeah, I realized yesterday, what was the difference between the first deck and the second deck we played, and it was mostly just the fact that, I didn't concede to Reclamation decks with the second deck, and I should have. Is Reclamation more of a problem card than Nexus? I mean, I think Standard's a really good example of if you ban Nexus of Fate, Wilderness Reclamation still does pretty offensive things. I think someone taking a whole bunch of extra turns can still be kind of tedious and frustrating for some people, but I think if people are starting to take extra turns in the very late game, I think that's fine and not a big deal. Sweet, we'll get to try out our Massacre Wurm deck against their Field of the Dead deck, which is nice. Agonizing Remorse being exile instead of discard, coming up tops here, being able to exile that Uro. Bib, thank you for the very generous tier 3 sub. I appreciate the 11 months. Magic the Gathering Arena has encountered an error and crashed, so I'm gonna reload it here. I can't even blame random errors like that on Linux anymore, chat. I'm streaming from a Windows computer. It's Windows 10. This is just the quality software that Wizards of the Coast produces. Thanks for the support, Bib. Sorry, we're gonna crash midway. I think Grasp is better than Heartless Act if you're able to cast Grasp consistently, because the premier aggro deck in this format right now is definitely Gruul, and Gruul has lots of riot creatures that randomly have counters on them. I also think Grasp is a great tool to have access to in the face of things like a Danto Vanguard. Hexapelagic Squid, thanks for continuing your sub, Gifty. Welcome back. It's like when people were surprised it had a whole bunch of issues with their OS X release. It's like, well, the application barely runs on Windows, so not really surprised you're having problems with it on a new platform. So, opponent gonna enable this Field of the Dead pretty quickly here. Kind of hoping to draw a Massacre Wurm ASAP, so we can kind of try and take over the game with that. I think I'm actually just playing out a Murderous Rider here with the second one drawn, so I want to just, like, start attacking them down. Always a command for relevant things you might want to have access to here in Hoaglandia, such as my beautiful wallpaper. Nice spin. I guess we're just playing defense at this point, huh? They can't quite grab this and play it this turn. Kind of surprised he then paid the 3 mana there, since our deck has discard spells in it. Hey, wanna be Beetle? What are the odds WotC have a Windows Server 2003 or 2003 in their environment holding critical data? High. High. High is the answer to your question. Or 2008. Start cooking some zombies here. What's our ultimate do? Search your library or graveyard for a number of red instant or sorcery cards, exile them. Yeah, we're just playing her to tick her up. I didn't even remember what the ultimate text was. That's not why. That's not why she's in the deck. She'll do a good job of killing zombies here in the meantime too, which is nice. Guess we'll find out if Chandra can drag us through this field of the dead and Hydra increases card advantage or not. So her other +1 here discards our hand and then exiles the top 3 cards of our deck so we can play them till end of turn. So a pseudo draw 3. They can't quite activate Golos here, but still pretty scary because I assume this is going to be grabbing a second copy of Field of the Dead. Yeah, easy Karma deck's great. I know nothing in that got touched. I think it's actual nothing. So you get to blink Golos and go get another Field of the Dead here. And we could end up punking them out of this game. So we're going to get to a point where they have a bunch of zombies in play, and if they make a bunch and don't kill us the turn that they make them, we could potentially rip a Massacre Wurm and kill them. Yeah, worth noting, Heartless Act, much worse than much better than Grasp of Darkness here. Grasp of Darkness is much worse than Heartless Act, but, you know, again, we talked about this yesterday with the Sultai Flash deck. Like, whenever you're playing an interactive deck in Magic, you're basically just picking and choosing what you want to beat and what you're willing to lose to. How many gates do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have seven gates total here. I don't understand your point there, Spreading Seas. Generally speaking, 1/1 removal is bad to be playing, because decks that want to be playing it tend to not be very good. Wow. No No land in any of those. That's unfortunate. Maybe it's right to kill Golos here. Feels like I'm supposed to just get this going. They're at 7 zombies. Sounds about right. I don't really have great tools here. I think I'm just swapping these for, I guess maybe I could have Duress, but like Duress just doesn't hit most of their stuff, right? Oh, I guess Ashiok's fine. Ashiok stops Golos from searching, and it stops their 4-drop from searching, their 4-mana ramp spell. Alright, we'll board that in. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Mire Tritons and leave the Bonecrusher Giants in. Bonecrusher at least is a 4/3 and attacks a little bit bigger. Yeah, it does stop Maze's End. You're right. I guess, like, generally speaking, I need a hand that lets me be aggressive in a matchup like this, but I also, like, I'm probably not going to win a game off a mulligan to 5. Yep. I almost didn't accept this deck again. We're going to play, I don't know, 2 or 3 matches with it and try and give it a fair shake, but there's a good chance, like, this is a deck that's, like, okay competitive against Gruul, and then just, like, dog crap unplayable everywhere else. Yeah, Ugin's good at against decks that go wide. Yep, Grazer's very, very good. Very, very powerful card. Stops your opponent from applying pressure and accelerates you. Yeah, I think this deck that we're playing would have a very good matchup against Winota. Winota was very poor against decks that were interactive. Right on time, Ashiok. Welcome to the party. Thanks for hanging out. Actually, I'm probably cycling this, huh? No ourselves trying to find a Kroxa. Wow, you wrote a tweet saying you didn't care about Reclamation being legal, and now you've changed your opinion like some kind of big flip-floppy? How could anybody trust you when you're so inconsistent? Like, Magic players who are bad at the game having comical opinions of me is something that you slowly get used to. I don't even know if you ever get used to it, but it's something that you aren't surprised when you read crappy opinions. I actually had someone write, they felt I was bipolar because my opinions on formats in Magic changed pretty constantly. It was just like, good golly. Every set, some might say. Yep. You could almost make the argument my opinions change every set. We have not, Jay. We have not. One Kroxa, please. Feels bad, man. Yeah, and I mean, like, we're at the point in the game where just, like, an Ulamog at any point just ends the game, right? Howdy, Freezy Pop. Are you gonna kill my Mind Stone? Monsters. Is this good enough? It might not be. I have a 4/5 flyer here still. And the they lose life when something dies is a static ability. It's not linked to the top trigger, so they're gonna continue to lose life when their things die. The problem is here I just can't close the game out, right? I believe my other two worms are both in my bin. Yeah. We're pretty fortunate to draw the third. Yeah, you know, Restoration Angel, exactly. We just do this and hope to hit a Kroxa. There's 3 of them in the bottom half of our deck. Even that doesn't really do anything though, right? Not that we hit it. Any QAnon GOP running in Illinois? I have no idea. I don't really take the effort to follow local congressional seats that aren't my own PCV, and my local Republican idiot is running unopposed this year. Yep, that was basically what it was, Hippity. It was Jund versus Strahd. Although, I don't even know if that's fair. Like, I think we were less likely to win that match than Jund is to win against Tron, because, like, our deck has less pressure than Jund does. Like, we don't have a random discard Tarmogoyf draw ever. We had played a variation of this archetype that was more aggressively slanted. It had Stitcher Supplier and Knight of the Ebon Legion in it, and Flamewake Phoenix, and I think that's probably better than trying to go up to, probably better than trying to go as high as, Massacre Wurm. I could have stomped their face there, but, It's the interior support, Kevin. I appreciate that. Welcome back. DMS, thanks for 29 months. Welcome back. Earn enough good, honest Jund cards this format to make a historic equivalent to Jund. I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout so you can go look at my website and read the Jund mid-range deck there. Man, just interactive deck things, right? Like, have a bunch of things that deal 2 damage. Opponents played 2 1/3s out. Feels magic, man. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Ginger Weasel. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Don't worry, I got plenty more where that came from, opponent. Cast 5 mana, Shock You Fog. So I assume we'll see. Really? You know, Wizard's Lightning to kill Chandra this time? I mean, these Chandras might gain us enough life that we could draw out of this. I mean, I've got Castle in play. I've got Mind Stone. If they don't have another burn spell, they can't kill Chandra. So we'll see if they can kill Chandra here or not. If they don't kill Chandra, she draws 3 cards next turn. Okay, so they have another Wizard's Lightning in hand then. It's a sweet card. I missed that there was this prowess threat in the latest set. Oh, they're just sacrificing that, sure. Alright. Reckless Rage. Some things die while others feel the pain. Reckless Rage. This doesn't kill their stuff, obviously, but puts a pretty big boy in play. Thud. See? The distraction Chandras did it, chat. You mocked my distraction Chandras. But here we are. Distraction Chandras are a go. Eliminate. Eliminate. I'm gonna cut my Bonecrusher Giants against the deck full of mono X3s. Capturing Massacre Wurm too. Maybe I'd rather have Bonecrusher than Agonizing Remorse. I think that's true. They do have a Zizdal. Yeah, I think our deck's fine against creature decks. I think the comparison of Jund versus Tron was, like, pretty apt for the game we played against Field of the Dead. Even with Massacre Wurms, I don't think our deck really has a chance to be competitive there. That game was incredibly interactive on both sides. Big agree. Neither of us were playing Reclamation or Embercleave. Interaction for all. Yeah, the body on Giant's still, like, fine. Billy Zane Jr., thanks for the 20 months, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Alright, let's draw like a Temple or a Blood Crypt here. Nailed it. Is this a deck? The last time you said Pack Rat could be Sweden? No, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but Pack Rat's not historic playable. That card's not good. Incredibly low power level card. Just gonna drop a tap land here. If they play like an Aziztal, I feel a little bit sad, but I'm upset they've hit twice. Their augurs are good little merfolk. Oh, jeez. Woof. Well, I'm gonna draw some cards. Thanks for the 53 months, Punchworthy, and for the tier 3 at that. Welcome back. It's an absurd amount of time. I mean, they have to discard a card here, right? So, like, they only drew 2, discarded 1. It's not even playable. I think Pack Rat in the sideboard of Reanimator decks might have been a thing for, like, half a moment in Legacy. If I recall correctly. Supreme Court upholds state's ability to enforce electors' pledges to candidate who wins statewide popular vote. Faithless electors are a thing of the past. We're supposed to get a ruling on Donnie's... We're supposed to get a ruling on Donnie's tax returns today, chat. Are you excited? I know I am. I assume they're gonna have like a stomp or another shock here. Opinion. I thought we were supposed to get a ruling. I thought we were supposed to hear on that today. Did I misunderstand? They decide they're tired and go home later this week. That's sad. Maybe I should draw for the turn. Although if I draw Chandra, I want to be able to cast her. Nailed it. Do I draw 3? There's no reason to, right? I already played a land that I don't have any 1-mana spells. What time am I starting streams nowadays? About 30 minutes ago. You can always find my schedule with not only what I'm streaming, but when on my website.
Feel free to stop that anytime.
I think I'm supposed to draw 3 here. Yeah, pretty sure this is the highest EV play. We're definitely supposed to scry there with those hits. Yeah, feels like it. Pretty good draw 3. I think this card's sweet. Post rotation, we could see this card do some good work in standard. Seems super playable. 2 pluses is fantastic. I'm gonna see him trade this for the Chandra. They've been to Tail's End here, so I wonder if they have another to counter this when I escape it. Yeah, New Liliana's super reasonable too. I would be incredibly surprised if large-scale competitive paper Magic came back anytime soon. Level up. Large-scale paper Magic might never come back. That's also true. I think there's a real chance that, at least in terms of Wizards organized play, like Star City Games, Nerd Rage Gaming, independent third-party circuits, we'll see those start back up again, you know, somewhere in the far distant future when it's safe and appropriate to. But I think I would be kind of surprised if Wizards doesn't push into all digital for their stuff. Oh, I could probably just concede, right? True Dawn only plays Nexus of Fate usually. Let's find out. If they play Breeding Pool, I'm gonna concede. Nailed it. True Dawn is someone who makes Magic content. I believe they're F2 on F2K as well. Sometimes they're in chat also. Remember, Magic's a game you should be playing to have fun. If at any point you're not having fun while playing Magic, you should stop playing Magic or start playing Magic in a different way. There's True Dawn in chat. So, for the foreseeable future, I am not playing against Wilderness Reclamation on stream. I'm just gonna go ahead and mosey along. How to make Magic fun with this one easy trick. WotC format designers hate him. Thanks for the 39 months, True Dots. I appreciate it. Welcome back. And for those of you that are like, I could do that, but I can't play in any tournaments because Reclamation is all over historic tournaments, the upcoming Hoaglandia Open on July 18th will be free from will be free from Wilderness Reclamation and Teferi the Time Raveler. Both of those cards are going to be banned in our in-house Hoaglandia tournament. Thanks for the 33 months, Benkasu. Go ahead and stop their land war elves here, I think. That next open will be taking place on July 18th. It will be sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com, as our last couple of opens have been. Really, really looking forward to that event. The prizes for that tournament will be scaling based on the number of people who play in it. If we fill the event with 256 players, that event will pay out over $1,500 in Cool Stuff Inc. store credit. So, unfortunately, I can't trade with Questing Beast there, because if I do, these pelt collectors will grow to 3/3s and then not die to my Massacre Wurm. This is the part where they go land Embercleave and kill us anyways. Curious Squirrel, thanks for the 30 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Whoa, I'm so confused. No, Mind Stone was not in the last iteration of this deck that we played. It is a new addition for today's stream that I wanted to try. I do not know how MTG Melee handles refunds on things if players drop or can't show up. You can ask on MTG Melee support Discord for clarification on that, Paradise Cell. So all of the entry fee collection and stuff like that's being handled automatically by MTG Melee. Which is great. None of the entry fees are passing through my hands. I don't want to have to deal with the tax nonsense that would be associated with that. All of the small entry fee that we are collecting is being paid back into prizes, essentially. I think I checked this morning. I believe we had 40 people signed up out of the 256 player limit. Clothis is actually really good against us. Weren't they dead to a full attack because of the triggers? Yeah, you're right, they were. You are correct. Good call. Chandra's pretty slow here. Agonizing Remorse is slow here. Get these Bedevils in so we can kill Embercleaves and their creatures. Some other cheap spot removal. I mean, ideally, I don't want people to register if they're not sure they can make it. So, you know, and if that's something that you personally are concerned about, again, talk to the people on MTG Melee because I'm not in charge of their software collecting money. Ideally, I would like to not have 256 people signed up and then have 30% of them drop the night before the tournament because they realize they can't play. So part of the goal of adding an entry fee is to avoid what we've had with the last couple opens, where because people were subbed anyways, it was free for them to sign up, but then they didn't show up the day of, or you know, they dropped the night before. Yeah, correct. That's exactly what it's intended to be. Man, Clothis is good against us. Just can't interact with this card at all. Magic, the motto of Magic 2020, can't interact with this card at all. Again, good example of being interactive tends to not be good in Magic. You want to be linear and ignore your opponent as much as possible, generally speaking. No, you would have to double Grasp of Darkness to kill it. Hey, Zeegzult. Thanks for the sub-gifty. I appreciate it. Should have let them attach their thing first, obviously. Let them target their thing first, obviously. Obviously didn't want them to attach it, because then it would be out of grasp range, but should have let them target their questing beast. Alright, if we hit an untapped land here, Massacre Wurms can let us raise. How about another brick? Another brick is fun. I think we're dead at this point. We're just like dead to this in 3. I guess these could be blanks, and we could deploy Murderous Rider and start gaining life that way. We could like draw Mire Triton next turn even. Correct. You don't play Clothis and Gruul because you expect to animate it. You play Clothis and Gruul because it sits there and does exactly what that game did, where it's just like, it's basically Sulfuric Vortex, for people that are familiar with that old Magic card. You play it explicitly to sit there and hammer your opponent every turn. You called the Cat Oven deck unfair. If your definition of Cat Oven is unfair, I don't like, just everything's unfair then. And maybe that's your opinion. Maybe all of Magic is just combos to you, but I would be pedantic and point out that Cat Oven is more of a synergy than a combo. And the distinction between those two things being that combos tend to immediately or very quickly end the game, whereas synergy cards just work well together. Cat Oven is unfair to your time. I accept that one. I accept that statement as truth. Magic Arena is super close, slow, and clunky. Yeah, if Magic Arena simply had the same tools that Magic Online has, got our timing right in the Embercleave this time, Cat Oven would be a lot more bearable. But because Magic Arena is a piece of software that was rushed to production and isn't really ready for consumer use, but it was pushed out anyways, we don't have basic features like always yielding to triggers that are happening. Which combo deck in Runeterra do you enjoy? The Easy Karma combo control deck, I think, is my favorite. Look at that. Beat the girl deck. No Clothis. Easy W. Comparing Clothis to Curse Scroll. That's quite the throwback, Bob. Good morning. The Easy Karma deck's super competitive in Runeterra. It's a lot of fun. I do love me Rekindling Phoenix. That's part of the reason why I played the blue-red Eldrazi deck in Pioneer past when it was actually good, because, like, Rekindling Phoenix is kind of my jam. I like that card a lot. Oh, right, Pioneer was a format. Remember when we were all excited for Pioneer for half a second? Opponent is rank 9. I am on the Diamond 4 rank floor. Dead game? Dead game? I played in MTG when Infect had Probe, and I'm playing Runeterra now and loving their software. Coming back into Magic, would I find Arena okay with its UI? Would Modern or Historic be a good format to get back into? I would not recommend anybody... I would not recommend Magic the Gathering Online to anybody who I liked. I think if you like the current standard or historic formats, I think Arena is the best way you could play Magic digitally. It still has a number of problems and shortcomings, but it's definitely the best at doing what it does. Tidwell, thanks for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is Jumpstart an MTGO these days? Yeah, I believe Jumpstart cards were added to MTGO treasure chests ahead of time.
This might be a bad idea.
No, I don't think so, Lion. I don't think that card's particularly good.
We need to move.
I plan to play Runeterra every day at the end of the stream or just on certain days. My current schedule is ending every single day with Runeterra, because Runeterra has been great.
Uncalled for. Let's skip to the good part.
Maybe I'm just supposed to Murderous Rider this there. I don't know. Getting Chandra down feels pretty appealing.
I've got it.
I'm just playing the sweet Runeterra decks people are sending me. Are they a Nexus of Fate deck? Oh, I can concede. They're playing Bant Nexus. They're a Reclamation deck. That's fine. I should have conceded from the start. That's fine. They can have it. Did you really mean you'd stop playing Magic if they reprinted 3-mana Teferi into Standard? Yes. This will become a full-time Runeterra stream if they reprint Teferi the Time Raveler into Standard. I would like to think I can casually make that statement because they're not going to be dumb enough to do that, but, you know, you never know. Why did I quit that match? Is that deck cheap or broken? No, and this is a very important thing to understand. I did not concede the last match because I think my opponent's deck is overpowered. I quit the last match because playing against Wilderness Reclamation paired with the card Nexus of Fate is miserable and makes me despise playing Magic the Gathering. And Magic the Gathering is a game that I play for fun. So rather than being miserable while playing a game that I'm supposed to be playing for fun, I'd much rather just move on with my life. Now, sequencing comment here. I have 3 different 2-drops, 4 different 2-drops kind of that I can play here. I think I want to play Mire Triton or Grasp of Darkness this turn. The fact that I have Mind Stone lined up means I want to play Grasp of Darkness, I believe, because if I play Grasp this turn, next turn I can play Mind Stone and Mire Triton, whereas this turn if I play Mire Triton, I cannot play Mind Stone into Grasp next turn because Grasp requires black. So I'm going to elect to hold up Grasp of Darkness here because I can double spell easier next turn. Let's just get that one right on out of there. No, if you'd like to make a command for conceding to Nexus decks, that sounds great, Boomball. I appreciate you. Okay, that's a great command. I didn't realize that command existed. 1043A. There's the real MVP right there. There's the real MVP right there. Love it. Love it. And now, naturally, because Magic the Gathering is a game that's well balanced where all colors share equal amounts of power, my 5-mana Planeswalker is going to be just as powerful as my opponent's 5-mana Planeswalker, even though their Planeswalker is green and my Planeswalker is red. Okay, I'm gonna tweet a picture of this. Okay, how about the caption? I assume Wizards Magic is going to come rewrite my stream shortly since it has Nissa smashing Chandra in it now. I assume Wizards Magic is going to come rewrite my stream shortly since it has Nissa smashing Chandra in it now. Alright, good. Ship it. Send tweet. Losing this game was 100% worth getting that tweet, chat. It's all about the little things. We are super dead, chat. We are super dead. If you want hot takes like that and other unapologetically liberal opinions, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Cobra Commander with the absurd tip. Thank you. Ooh, where's my dashboard? Load dashboard. Load. For the pair of decks you submitted. Perfect. I will get those added to the deck queue. We'll be doing Moto Day later this week. Alright, I want all my Doom Blades in this matchup. We got Bedevils, Eliminate, Heartless Act. I think the discard, I could go either way on the discard spells here. I think Chandra gets cut here for the game we just saw there. She just gets run down by their large threats. Honestly, Maybe we just go off of the Mind Stones and trim a Massacre Wurm. We're like trimming top end. These are a liability against their Gem Razors, which are probably staying in post-board. When's the MTGO day, if you don't mind me asking? I need to look at my schedule. It'll probably be Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday tend to be my lowest viewer count days on average. So I like to put Moto on days where... yeah, this is fine. Needs another Black Source and a third land in general, obviously, but has 2 castable spells regardless. You're not kidding, bub. Like, when that originally happened, it felt like it was an abnormality. It felt like it was something that was outside the norm. But like, since everything else has happened in the last couple of months, it's like, uh-oh. Alright. Hopefully next shot will be a Black Source. Feels Magic the Gathering, man. Oh, did Morrow's article go up? I forgot about that. Chad, I have 3 small children and don't... And often forget things. Did it go up? Morrow is supposed to post an article on the future of Magic. The Future of Magic by Mark Rosewater. There's the article. Let's say we're gonna play this and maybe one more, and then we'll read if people that want to read the article and get my opinion on it, I will read that article on stream in a little bit after we finish this deck. So I'm gonna maybe do one more match after this one, and we'll pull that article up here together. Because I'm invested in the future of Magic. One of your finest Doomblades, please. No spoilers, chat. No spoilers. Oh, yeah. Nailed it. Nailed it. 3rd land drop. Magic's got my back. Oh! Whew! You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Man, I'm about to get, like, heroic intervention, aren't I? There could have been some merit to me Murderous Ridering on my own turn there, but I think I'm supposed to hold the Murderous Rider up till their turn because of the potential of a Nissa happening. At least they didn't have Veil of Summer. Wow, they had Nissa and just didn't play her pre-combat. Thanks, I guess. Do they, like, have heroic intervention and just... Alright, sure. Yeah, I think I keep this. There's already 6 cards in my bin, and I can do this plus a 3-mana removal spell next turn.
The land fights for us.
People are saying the article isn't what they were expecting based on the title. Are you telling me that Wizards of the Coast's inability to communicate clearly shines through even when they're trying to communicate? So, sequencing here, I think I led on Kroxa before killing the Nissa there, so this way they discarded before they knew their Planeswalker was dying.
Nature will take back what rightfully belongs to it. This'll be fun to watch.
So we're down to 5 here. So can't really escape Kroxa, because if I escape Kroxa, we're dead on board. We're dead to Vivian getting a questing beast here. I can, however, just Bedevil both. I Bedevil one, Murderous Rider the other here, and then we can escape Kroxa and have a couple of 2/3s left over. So maybe we have a shot here. Maybe. Dead to a lot though. I want to kill these inside of combat, so this way they can't float mana with them. Feels Magic, man. Is it time to get back into Magic? I don't. Constructed Magic the Gathering in its current state is the worst it has ever been in my 20 years of playing Magic the Gathering. If you want a no holds barred honest opinion of the current game from me. Be optimistic, it's the worst so far. Thanks for the 12 bucks, Rat Racer, I appreciate it. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. I didn't play during Combo Winter. I played, when did I start playing? I started playing during Odyssey block. Thanks, Pet Panther. Sorry about that. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 other creatures they can exile here, so it's going to be a 10/10. It's going to be much larger than a 10/10. Nope, just a 9/9. Siege Rhino Life. So are they playing Abzan, chat? Should we just assume they're playing Abzan? Or do I get to concede the match on turn 2? Yes, I get to concede the match on turn 2. Nailed it. I played during Eldrazi Winter and that was awful. I actually didn't mind Eldrazi Winter. I think the play patterns during Eldrazi Winter were actually kind of okay. Deck archetype diversity was bad during Eldrazi Winter, but at least Eldrazi Winter really cared about combat and board presence. In fact, the Eldrazi decks really caring about board presence was why I was able to play Kiki Chord during Eldrazi Winter. A quarter of a year? That's almost a full lockdown. You're not wrong, Better You-ish. Thanks for the 4 months. Welcome back. That's true too. That's true too. A lot of something a lot of people don't understand. People who aren't good deck builders don't understand this, but one deck formats are actually often the best types of formats to brew in, because one deck formats tend to be easier to attack, right? Like you know what you can expect to play against for most of your matches. So like if you're like actually a good deck builder, you can attack those appropriately. Good deck building paired with good play lets you attack one deck formats on average a lot of the time. Hey, thanks for 26 months, Hangman. Yeah, I think the 11 a.m. start's been okay. It's been about the same for the viewer count, so pretty neutral on my end. How's this deck been going? Pretty mediocre. I don't think I'd play this again. It's been only okay against the aggro decks, and we just got thoroughly dumpstered by Field of the Dead. I think the lower to the ground build that's more aggressively slanted probably makes more sense to play. The Massacre Wurms and the Chandras have been pretty clunky throughout the course of the set. Hagak was a one deck format. Yeah, and like, obviously, so like, for what people don't understand is like, when I say one deck format, like, Magic's a game with an incredible amount of variance. It doesn't mean 100% of people are playing the same deck, right? Like, a good example of what I would consider to be a one deck format was actually when I top 8'd my first Star City Games Open. So, people that may or may not remember, during the first Innistrad block, blue-white Delver was the deck to beat. And my first SCG8 top open came at a time where people were playing a tokens deck to beat the Delver deck, and I showed up with a deck full of Ratchet Bombs to beat the tokens decks and be okay against Delver, and I like skated my way into the top 8 beating a bunch of tokens decks all day. Because when formats are predictable, it's, again, easier for people that are actually good at deck building to attack those formats. Yeah, I like that standard format a lot, too. Big agree. Alright, so I want all my Doom Blades. Maybe all the Massacre Wurms is too many. I'll go 2 and 2 with the Mind Stones. Let's try this. How's New Chandra doing? Been mediocre. Format's too aggressive or too over the top. I think of Modern right now. Haven't really played it. We played Burn recently, and that was fine because as much as Modern changes, the fact that people don't respect the burn deck stays the same. I will say getting Cryptic commanded and Mystic Sanctuary draw my Cryptic command again is super miserable. So if those types of decks are actually competitive in Modern, that does not sound particularly fun. More prison style decks is not my enjoyment. Big fan of not getting locked out while playing. Simic Brian, you must be having a wonderful last couple of years in Magic with a name like Simic Brian. Thanks for the 2 months, I appreciate it. Welcome back. I think we just grasp this. It's like if they play a 3-drop, it could be Spellbreaker, and then I can't grasp their 3-drop here. Yeah, look at that. Just like we drew it up, huh? Oh, this is wrong. I should Murderous Rider so I can hold that Bedevil for a cleave. Alright, so I just banned someone who's currently subscribed to the channel because, as a humanitarian act, they said they feel depressed watching me complain about Magic the Gathering. So hopefully being banned from chatting will help them realize that rather than complaining about me complaining in my chat, they can just change the channel on their TV. Hopefully the door doesn't hit them on the backside on the way out. God bless, Brian. God bless. I also like how they didn't say any of the things that I've said or complained about are invalid or incorrect, just that they would prefer I am a shining beacon of positivity even when it's undeserved. Sorry for being realistic. I apologize. Can we have Infect be a good deck again? I actually really appreciate that. So, like, to comment on that and talk about, like, formats that are good and things that I enjoy, I actually think, when decks like Infect are good and at the top of a format, those formats are best. So much like when Noda was really good for this format, I think, decks like Infect being a combo aggro deck that removal is good against them. When spot removal is good against the best deck in a format, that format is usually A-okay in my opinion. I don't know, Kenix. Like, they just can't help themselves, I guess. Like, it's okay if you don't want me to hear me talk about, like, things I'm unhappy with in Magic when they come up, but, like, just change the channel. Don't, like, come in here and, like, demand that I do things differently. It's like, this is the Jeff Hoagland Show. Welcome. And again, just to talk about format design from a format management from a perspective, if they genuinely felt Winota was too good in Historic, I think it is incredibly idiotic that... I'm actually going to Murderous Rider here and just try and kill them quickly. I think it was incredibly bad that they banned actual Winota and didn't instead suspend Angrath's Marauders. That is what I like. If they genuinely felt Winota needed to be toned down, I think they should have pulled Angrath's Marauders out and see how things shook out after that. Like, they were banning Agent anyways, so if they ban Agent and they ban Marauders, like, see what happens. Jameson, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Sure. I actually think that would be a fine thing to do, too. I've been a pretty big proponent on stream of, I think, from an overall design perspective, Magic was also better off when there weren't a bunch of 1-mana accelerants everywhere. So, like, if you took Land War Elves and a Boreal Grazer out of this format, that's probably also an okay approach to it. Is Rolselek a human? It probably is, right? God, that totally is. That's sick. Winota with Rolselek. That's really funny. Love it. Is banning the payoffs really better than banning the engine? Haven't we been down this road with Aetherworks Marvel before? I think that's a really I think comparing Winota to Aetherworks Marvel is a god-awful comparison because Aetherworks Marvel was a card that you literally couldn't answer it before it spun the wheel. Whereas Winota, you can Doomblade her before she ever gets a trigger, and the conditions around what she has to do to get triggers are drastically different. So I think saying Winota is comparable to Aetherworks Marvel is not a comparison you're making in good faith. Or at least if you are trying to make it in good faith, you don't fully understand the comparison you're making. Again, gonna lead on Grasp of Darkness here, so this way my turn 3 can be Mind Stone into Eliminate. Leaving Winota legal also hurts people's wild cards less. If Winota stays legal, people can still play with most of the cards that they crafted. Whereas, like, banning Winota meant people had entire decks in Historic that were mostly useless. This could be an Embercleave turn. Is mono red good in Historic or Standard? It's very reasonable in Historic. I'm not sure about Standard. This worked out better than expected. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. So do. We got 5 cards in the bin already, so we get to do this. We get to do this. We get to escape a Kroxa next turn. We get to slam the door shut very hard. They need, like, Questing Beast into Embercleave here to have a shot. Box of the shoes. Thanks for 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, it's going to be the last match with this deck. Then we're going to take a look at Maro's The Future of Magic article together on stream. And then we'll play some mono white Tempered Steel after that. See how that goes. I mean, to be fair, when Domri's Ambush does work, it's very good, though. Especially with Burning Emissary, this card's quite powerful in the archetype. Yeah, pretty sure we're on the zero outer now. Steel Dingleberries, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It's Monday. Especially, the big downside to streaming every day is that, like, the days were already kind of Blur's day with everything going on, but, like, with streaming every day, all bets are off. I just have, like, no idea what day of the week it is. 26 lands later. Love the on-theme meme usernames. Thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. All right, as far as this deck is concerned, I'm glad we played it again because it was nice to validate what my kind of gut feelings were after the first set with it. My basic takeaway is this go big top end more controlling package just isn't very good. This archetype is much better off being lower to the ground and being able to attack people more aggressively than what this more controlling build is doing. Do I have the mid-range build? I do have a mid-range build. So this is, if you didn't see us play this last time, we had played some games with this, which is a 25 land build that has a little bit less removal in the main deck and is a little bit more linear. Post board, it has a lot of good, reasonable removal in it, so you can board in removal when it's good, but this configuration will have fewer awkward game ones like we had in that set, in that previous set with the control build, where we're just like looking at a bunch of Grasp of Darkness and stuff in our hand, and our opponent's playing, you know, not Gruul, basically. So this would be how I would approach red-black in this format, I think. A little bit more aggressive here to flip your Kroxas and to play more consistently, more quickly, and then Phoenix to the Ash as well. All right. Rather